Yes, we're back. We're live. But the timer will do everything. We got dollars and skins today, not dollars and cents.
Postmasters, I believe if you check the tapes, I called the winner.
I believe that I checked the tape, and that is a fact.
I even had Justin Rose taking it to the end. He kind of let it go.
Nick, how'd you enjoy the Masters?
Yeah, I didn't watch much of it.
All right.
But it was good.
Well,
I'll tell you, I did watch Sunday towards the end. So that was a lot of back
good.
and forth. That's
Scotty
the
was
best
charging.
Yep, absolutely.
Rory was trying to
came
mess it
back.
up again.
He tried to mess it up, and he came back. So
Sounds like a regular Sunday in golf. Scotty charging, Rory trying to mess it up.
And he didn't. He still won.
didn't. No,
That a little key chip in there kind of saved him. Would you agree though that had this not been a repeat, he probably folds there?
Oh my God, yeah. Especially that tee shot at 18, but it was still a great Masters.
And going back to back, kind of going back to back might be a problem in some real estate transactions. Nick, that's how you had a pretty long segmented one the other day, huh?
Yeah, I think the longest one I had 7 chains.
Holy cow!
Yeah, we were right smack dab in the middle, but we got it done. So.
That's great.
All right. Well, I figured today we'll talk about shingles, surprises, and settlements.
We had a lot of storms go through.
We've had a lot of storms. I think we're lined up for another set of storms here this afternoon again.
It's every
how's your life right now?
Thursday. It's terrible.
I am surprised that Adam's hair doesn't look like mine at this point.
It's like, so now what's great about this narrative is that people are starting to understand it because we had a huge tornado go through Kankakee, right?
Yep.
And then every week, Wednesday, Thursday, it gets really warm, then it gets cold, and then what happens?
Storm time, and Adam's phone blows up.
Yeah.
But
what's the consequences? What are we talking about today?
Well, I figured I saw a lot of people had some questions that on some Facebook pages or maybe some misunderstandings about how replacement, like how insurance actually work, like the claim process works, and like understanding the scheduled replacement cost, actual cash value. So we're going to talk about that, and then at the end of it, kind of talk to Nick about what buyers could do to maybe avoid buying a home with an old roof and like what price differences and some costs are. But let's just talk about from an insurance settlement standpoint, like we have this replacement cost, scheduled replacement cost, actual cash value.
Yes. It's getting confusing, and it's even harder when you read it. And what the reason these things are coming out is because we are now Tornado Alley. It's here, which means all insurance costs are going up from every carrier. You can read the news and they pick on certain ones, but in order to combat that and make homeowners insurance affordable, they're reducing coverage. And one of the biggest ways is this roof schedule replacement cost. So essentially think about it like this. A roof in Illinois, if it says 20-year roof on your shingle, how long does that last?
12, 15.
15 to
All right.
right? So now you're looking at a roof that's useful lifespan is actually 15 years, but they call it 20. So if you have an old roof that's past its lifetime, they will insure your roof like they insure your car. So they'll depreciate it based on how much is left on it. So think about it this way. It's a $20,000 roof. It's half of its lifespan's been used. They'll give you $10,000 for that roof, less your deductible. So now you're looking at $6,000 for a cost of $20,000. That's what people run into. Does that sound right?
That does. So almost like the SR22 of replacement situation there. I think that's like the hard part, right? Because they still say scheduled replacement, or they still use the word replacement,
but it's not.
But it's not replacing all your dollars.
What you're looking for is full replacement costs is what you want on your insurance.
And we were discussing this earlier, and that a client that calls in that's very, very sensitive to premium or payment because they want to buy this house, that's an easy box to maybe uncheck for some insurance providers.
Yeah. I mean, we just had one yesterday. Someone said, hey, I got to leave you because I got one from, I can't say company names, but they're blue. And it's $400 a year for my home insurance. And we're like, excuse me? Why? So that's what's happening. How's that affecting the real estate world?
Yeah, Nick, I guess when you're out showing houses, like are buyers looking at roof age? Are they
always
appropriately quantifying the roof?
Is it more sensitive as a subject now? When people
it's because recent events is definitely more. Roof's always the number one question that we're going to get. But as of right now, everybody's asking, hey, have you guys talked to your insurance provider about a new roof? Which that's important stuff that you said. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that necessarily. So we get a lot of that going on right now, especially with all the storms coming through. So
I think one of a way to maybe look at it too, when someone's looking at a house, right? A lot of times they're looking at price, but they really, really maybe aren't articulating that they care about their monthly payment, right?
Right.
Or the cost of that home.
Right.
So we're working through some math on this.
Mhm.
If we said a 1,500, 1,800 square foot house, a roof probably 30 grand, you likely seen.
Yeah. Or north of that, depending on what you're
Could
going to
be,
do.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'll use some round numbers because I got
30 grand.
I got some weird ticks, right? And then a lot of these places, they love to advertise this no interest payment plan on these roofs, right? And so what they do is they mark up the price 6 to 8% on there and then divide it out. So if we took that $30,000, right, added 6% to that, becomes 31,800. They said, hey, you know what? No interest for 5 years. That sounds like a great deal, right?
Yep.
Sounds
Okay, so let's divide
Sounds
that.
like
Yeah, let's divide that 31.8 by 60. It's $530 a month.
Okay.
so that affects what you buy.
So
That's a
is my $2,000 is my house that I think is going to cost me $2,000 a month? Is it now going to cost me $2,500?
That's a
Does
big
that
amount.
change things?
It probably doesn't. People don't even think about it, but it definitely changes things.
It
changes
could
when you break it down. It changes things.
And so,
The
yeah.
initial thought doesn't change, but
So now let's talk about the other side of this. And Nick, you work with lots of buyers, so I'd be curious if I said I could, if we reframe the conversation, said you could buy a $76,000 more expensive home.
with that 500,
Yeah.
a month, 530.
Yeah.
With
Well,
a newer roof, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, where do you like? You think you're probably gonna already get a house that maybe has some maintenance done to it, or they've been $76,000 is a whole different price class in a lot of different areas that we serve,
100%.
right?
Yep.
I got
So
a
you're
question.
getting
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, well, you're getting a bigger house, most likely a better house, and hopefully a more well taken care of house. And
I think that's one of the things that this perception we've talked about frequently, that like cheap doesn't mean more
Better,
frugal, better. Like you're getting a better deal. Maybe cheap is not a better deal all the time.
No, value's where it's at.
Yeah.
How does the age of the roof affect appraisals? Is that like weighted? Because it doesn't feel like it is, and it's a big deal.
You're gonna really like this one. So on the appraisal standpoint, there's a condition rating on a house and there's a quality rating on the house. They're extremely subjective, but generally mortgage agency guidelines call for the roof to appear to have at least 2 years of useful life.
You know what's crazy about that?
I'm gonna get murdered for saying this.
That's wild because they're, I told you guys earlier, they're using satellite photos to look at homes, right? They're
Yep.
using AI to look at it. From like 2015 to now, they can watch over time a roof deteriorate. And if it's within 5 years of its useful life, they will not renew you. They will say you got to get a new roof to keep your insurance. So it's just not aligned.
And
Nope.
that's always a situation between mortgage, real estate, and insurance too. Like one of the those little balls things you put on the desk, and like one of them's always going to be out of sync right now. And I think the biggest one is condition rating of house and price, and then the consumer's idea that I can just fix that, or the old adage, Tony Perri Sr. is a good one. I'll just pray for a hailstorm.
Yeah, there you go.
So he's prayed enough to turn this into Tornado Alley again.
He did it. Stop
Yeah,
praying.
But like I think that's what this whole scheduled roof replacement cost, like that defeats the praying for the hailstorm at this point, because now you're not getting the full roof replaced, you're getting the percentage of the useful life replaced
But you saved $400 on your insurance.
initially.
Yeah.
So like not like that. And I think that's where maybe talking to first time buyers and explaining things, right? Like, hey, maybe we could move that budget up, because you're not thinking about this $500 a month cost that you're gonna have in the first 5 years of owning the home.
And then a new roof is nice, but what other problems are with that house? That's not the only problems you can have. A more expensive home most of the time is you're gonna have less problems, maybe a more quality built home, quality work home on the inside.
So you would agree that a $76,000 budget price improvement would probably make some buyers
that
feel,
makes a difference.
yeah,
It
it
a
makes
big
them smile a little bit.
Yep.
Anything else in the real estate world?
Rates up and down. It's just crazy times, but things are moving in the spring market, so that's where we're at.
That's good. It feels stuck over here. I don't know.
It might just be the humidity in here right now. Yeah, I'd say that there's some buyers that are maybe questioning, market direction, maybe some employment stability fears and some stuff like that. Inflation up, down, we don't know. And when gas is over $4.50 a gallon, like that takes creates a dent in in buyer sentiment a little bit. But yeah, I think what we're seeing here, and we've seen like a lot of this deal fallout regarding inspections and some other weird stuff. And we're seeing some people that maybe have been locked into this low interest rate that they had on their house, And they were so convinced that this low interest rate was the best thing for them forever that they didn't maintain the home,
Yeah.
or they didn't budget for some of these things. And the world's changed.
Yeah.
How do we solve for it? We just increase your budget by
Yeah.
76 grand.
You got to
There
make
go.
more money.
Yeah.
Work harder.
Anything else we need to touch on?
I think you hit it pretty good. You know, that's the market. That's the world right now in a nutshell. You know, a lot up and down, a lot of unknown. But you know, like we talk about all the time, processes, plans, discipline's always going to get you, no matter what the market conditions are, no matter what the world is. You want to be better off financially, discipline's going to get you there. You want to be better off. You want to try to buy a home. You want to, you know, protect that home, serve that home, whatever it might be. Discipline, understanding what the ins and outs are is always going to be your number one option.
I think that's the biggest, the plan here, right? If you're looking at a house with an aged roof, would be talk to Nick about, hey, how much is it, or reach out to Adam, we'll tell you how much a roof would cost approximately, and just divide that number by 60 and add that to your idea for what your monthly payment would be. Go, okay, now this is what my monthly cost of this house is going to be in the first 5 years.
Yeah, that way you can
Sounds a little scary,
you
right?
can lay it up next to each other if you actually just get all the data, right? Because it's like,
Mhm.
okay, this one doesn't need a roof. This one's good condition. I don't need to do anything. So what is the actual?
Yeah, this is my real cost of ownership.
Yeah.
All right, that's
There
it.
you go.
All right, guys. Well, what
Yeah.
about the Cubs and Sox? Is anything going on?
I think they both suck right
Yeah,
now.
that's
What's
more
going on?
of the norm, my friend.
Schwarber was dropping bombs on the Cubs.
Oh yeah. He had two, he had three, or he had two.
I saw
He had
two.
two within the first couple innings. So
That's all I had. Sorry. I didn't
All
mean
right,
to
but
stop us.
we'll talk about Cubs when they become relevant, which will be maybe in a couple of years, or
Okay,
when the Sox get their new stadium or they move to Nashville, one or the other.
there you go.
All right, we're out.
Later.
I'm done. Cut the show.